We're going to start this video with the theme of John 8, verse 32. John 8:32 reads, "And you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." Now, it went further. There was a discussion going on between Christ and those, I'll call them the early version of the lawyers, the Pharisees. And they answered him, "We are Abraham's offspring and have never yet been enslaved to anyone. How is it that you say you shall become free?" Jesus answered them, "Truly, truly, I say to you, everyone who commits sin is the slave of sin." Now we know sin also means debt, so it's very understandable that the ones who did not accept the Messiah, who canceled out all sin and debt, would actually keep on a world that represented debt. So that's why the term surname means a debt or a debtor. We'll clarify that within the law book, so you'll see it's under name or nomen, but in the Black's Law. But further, the discussion basically gets very clear at the end. In verse 44, he says, "You are of your father the devil." He's talking to these legal Pharisee lawyers at the time who made money into a religion because they had nothing else left. They could only operate in fiction because they could not follow truth, because they were not going to accept truth. He says, "You are of your father the devil, and you want to do the desires of your father. He was a murderer from the beginning and does not stand in truth, because there is no truth in him. Whenever he speaks a lie, he speaks from his own nature, for he is a liar and the father of lies." Isn't it interesting? You could literally call that the father of fiction. So he's the father of legal fiction that operates legal society that has no hope, no truth, no faith, no answer, no salvation, no sovereignty under the supreme authority of God. And therefore, they basically, could they ever set you free? Will legal fiction set you free, or will truth, which is reality, which is contrary to falsehood? We know if you put on a false hood, that's a false covering of who you really are. Remember the definition of surname under the Canadian Gage Dictionary. Surname, a name added to one's real name. I just call that garbage because it is garbage. It's a garb covering what you truly are, and then they put an age beside it to run it. It's not timeless as of God. Therefore, it operates as a cloak of fraud. And interestingly, one of the maxims of equity or fairness or conscience is that it will never allow a statute or our legal fiction, which comes from statute law, to be used as a cloak of fraud. So therefore, we know that God will judge the world in equity. There is fairness coming and there is judgment coming, but it's coming from the supreme source. But he's already brought you salvation. You may just not be out of that hallucination yet of the legal fiction.